Welcome back to Real Talk, the real estate channel that gives you the truth and transparency. I'm joined today by Najib real estate founder Nathan Najib. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Bowie. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. I think when was the last time we did one of these? But I am looking forward to today.
An actual market report. It's been a while.
Yeah,
We've done a few West Melton ones, but yeah, we're back into it.
it's good to be back, telling people what they need to know because nobody else tells them.
No one else tells them, and you're on the ground every day. You're seeing what's happening. People listen to the news. The news is not always right.
No, well, they never the news is they've never told us the truth, but we found out now that they just want to tell you the narrative that they want to tell you.
Yeah.
And they've got hidden agendas. And I'm not being like, the guy that sees news is always telling what does it say, that conspiracy theory?
Oh yeah.
I'm not being a conspiracy theorist, but most of this conspiracy theory did come right. And one of them was like, people thought like, news was like, yeah, that was like they always tell you the truth. But we found out that they don't. So, yeah, we're here to tell people exactly what's going to happen. Because, it's also like, because everything that we say is backed by data and facts and figures and what happened in the past, it's come right as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we haven't got a record.
Well, you said a couple of years ago, maybe a year and a half ago now, it's going to be a bear market, and I think Wellington's dropped 28%.
There we do.
Since the peak.
There it is, right?
Yeah.
And I was also telling
Auckland
back in the days,
20%, Christchurch a little bit more resilient, but yeah.
interesting how, because we were telling people in the peak to sell now and not buy.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, because it's very hard. It's very hard to predict the market. And even then, and I'm saying this with all humility, because all the research, all the team has put together, we've done like prediction wise. I'm telling you, we've done bloody good.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the video that we released, and you said, if you were thinking about selling, sell now. And then everyone was coming at you saying, oh, he just wants to get money, just wants to get listings. And it was nothing to do with that. You were just literally telling the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, you even said maybe you could rent for a few months, let the market drop further, profit now, and then get in at a lower point.
Literally,
Yeah.
Bowie, we sold a client's house for $2.175 million, a record in West Melton. And I told the dear client of ours, hold off. And they didn't. They capitalized on their asset. They bought a section and a house. Literally 2 years later, they sold the section. They made like $250,000 loss.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we should have listened to you. We shouldn't have bought.
Exactly.
When you told us not to buy. So
Yeah. And we'll tell them when it's a good market as well. We'll tell the truth. So
absolutely.
we've got a few topics to cover today.
I'm looking forward to it, Bowie.
The OCR decision due this week. I think it's due tomorrow. This podcast will probably be released after then. We also have the migration where they've tied in the visas, but they're also allowing skilled workers to come in. That's a new policy. The price growth. The banks have come out with a few predictions on what's going to happen this year and next. And should you rent or buy right now if you don't own a property? So let's get into it. Topic number one, we released a video a few weeks back where we expected the OCR not to drop, and it did drop. And we said our reasons why they shouldn't have dropped it.
Yeah.
What are you thinking this time?
I was disappointed last time. You should go watch the video. That's a YouTube video, isn't it? It's a video,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
You should go and watch that. Why we thought they shouldn't have dropped it. And this time they're going to keep it where it is, most people say. And I think they should. I think they should they should have left it where it was last time, and now they should definitely leave it where it is. Because if you're changing the lever now, moving it, that gets the property moving, even if it's slight move. I like to think, as a real estate person who's in business of real estate, and I'll also look at the economy, I like to be able to have, realistically, morally, I would like to have my kids and the grandkids of every Kiwi to be able to buy houses. And the way these politicians are playing these things, the levers, because they want more votes, or they're not interested, they haven't got people's interest at heart. All they're interested in, if it's Labour, if it's National, they just want to get votes to get elected and re-elected.
Correct.
Which disappoints me. And like, you know, I think we answered a question last time. Somebody said the policymakers are the reason the property prices are going crazy. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So these policymakers making it horrible for our kids and grandkids, and saying it's bad. It's most expensive, one of the most expensive countries to be able to buy real estate in, right?
It is. Well, it's one of the most unaffordable countries now.
Right, and that is no good for nobody, Bowie.
Yeah. I mean, it's a wonderful place to live. There's plenty of positives to New Zealand. Don't get me wrong, but that's why people have been leaving New Zealand.
But what happens, though, is, remember, Bowie, like, what happens is, if people can't afford to buy houses at a reasonable price, the market will, it's eventually, the bottom of the market is going to come off. Because if nobody can afford to buy houses, then the market is not moving, and nobody wants to buy houses. The market has to get dropped big time. Nobody wants another crash.
Yeah.
So to avoid that, we need to make sure that things are at an affordable level. They talked about this national government, that they're going to make it 3 to 5 times household income. And that's where they should have tried to bring it back to. But they know it's 18 months later is the election, so now they've got to win votes. So like, no, we can't make it hard.
Yeah.
And so they're thinking about getting elected again, and they've made the wrong decision.
Yeah, exactly. And you said, just going back to the policymakers, you said it's hard to influence that though. But what you can influence is looking at the 5 variables you discuss and predicting the market.
Yeah, so me and you sitting here, unless we are in the government, we can't influence the decisions that they make, right? But as a predictor, or as a economist, or uneducated economist, all I can study is those variables, and then I'll give you my prediction.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at those, what they do here. The next lever is gonna happen is, okay, if the stock is, for example, increasing, the market is gonna come back. If the buyers are more and the stock is less stock, then the market is gonna take off. If its interest is low, so all those variables, when you look at it, when you study it, when you put a magnifying glass in front of it,
yeah,
then it kind of gives you what's going to happen in the next 6, 12 months.
And that's kind of your strategy that you use to predict the market the last however many years, right?
Absolutely. And I just don't get, for the life of me, how do these people come out? I see the stock increasing like crazy, and these guys are saying the market is going to increase by 6%.
Let's get into that. ANZ forecasts 6% price growth in 2025 and 5% in 2026. CoreLogic expects a 5% growth in 2025. You said this may be the year of recalibration, a year where the market, you use the analogy, you've been smacked over the head, and we're coming back around this year, and then by 2026 we be back to normal.
Yeah, the normal, healthy.
Do you still think that's gonna?
I think so. Even though I would have liked the price come back slightly more, maybe a little bit more, not even slightly, quite a bit more, for the affordability level to come back to where it should be at affordable level. That didn't quite happen. It happened, but it didn't happen as much as I thought would be healthy. But the increase, because look at the number of stocks. While the buyers are slightly increasing because there's more like energy in the market because the OCR rates and the interest rates. Stocks are like I'm looking at stocks here, number of sales versus supply.
Yeah.
The supply is increasing rapidly in a huge way.
Exactly. I mean, what's happening is there is a few more buyers coming into the market, but then that's outstripped again by supply, and it's just outstripping it faster and faster.
What is it? Is it
sales to stock ratio, right? So how much stock is on the market, how much is selling? 14.1% from January to April. This was in a video we did back then. So it's a lot, but back in 2021, 50% of the stock was selling quickly.
right?
So it just shows it's gone down and down and down.
So with that said, there is no way you're going to get 6% increase. It just doesn't make no sense whatsoever to me. The agenda of the bank is for you to go and borrow money, right? So if you look at it, like, why are they saying 6% increase? Because if they say 6% increase, I'm going to go buy properties now, right? I'm going to at least get encouraged to go and get more loan, right?
Yeah.
So they're in the business of lending money, and especially when the market is like the reason they made it so hard, they brought so much stipulation to be able to borrow money is because they know the market is tough. So when they saying the market's going to go by 6%, they're going to have more applications. So more applications, they'll be able to lend more money because they're in the business of making money. And how they make money is to lend money, right?
Correct, yeah.
So no wonder they're saying the market is going to go up by 6%. I do not think so. I think it's recalibration until, like you said, at least 2026, and then a healthy growth.
2 to 4%.
2 to 4%. Absolutely. That's a healthy growth. Why it's a healthy growth? It's because if your salary is increasing by 1%, maximum 3% a year, and the house price is going up by 6%, it's just a matter of time for the affordability to outstrip.
Correct. Yeah. So 2022, affordability income to house price ratio. So the median house price was 860,000 and the median household income was 96,000. So that's 8.91 times household income. That was the highest we're at.
Yeah.
And national, they've helped a little bit. They brought it down to 7.1, but that's still nowhere near where they said it would be.
Yeah, 3 to 5.
I watched the video. They said that.
Right.
It was in the video when they first came out. And
If they
said
carried
3
it
to 5.
on, Bobby, like, because what happens is people say these guys, like, a lot of people, when they don't know what happens if things are unaffordable, they think like national is making it harder for people and people are losing jobs. But that's byproduct of what Labor did. Labor just created a whole lot of jobs, gave money away, and the market went straight through the roof and affordability. People couldn't afford to buy groceries, right? So for that to come back, for the prices to come back, they need to make it harder for people. And people lose jobs, and that's the byproduct of the stupidity that was the government before these guys did.
Yeah.
So they turn the lever now because they want to get, unfortunately, they want to get votes, and probably people are not going to vote for them if they carry on. Unless you got somebody like Trump, he doesn't care. He moves fast, and things come. He's done pretty well, right, for the economy.
Yeah.
There's hardly any inflation there, and the prices are coming back. Countries, America is now the best place it's ever been in for a long, long time.
Interesting.
Maybe forever.
Maybe forever.
Maybe forever. Because the guy knows he's running it like business.
He's
It's
a
like,
businessman.
He's a businessman, right? Right. If you
And he cares. He cares for the country. The man is, he's pretty old. Like, he just cares. He's not doing it for money now.
he's an actually patriot.
Yeah.
And we need people like that, not politicians. Politicians are destroying the country. They're putting poor against the rich, the black against the white, the married before but in front of dividing the country. Look what what Jacinda Ardern did.
Yeah.
Divided the country like I've never seen it before.
Yeah. We're slowly getting that back though.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. So, yeah.
So, if it's not going to increase, question from one of our people at Najib, they asked, because they're looking to purchase. At the moment, they're renting. And she asked, should I be looking to buy now? Or should I still rent, wait my time until maybe 2026? What's your advice there?
Yeah. I feel like because the OCR dropped, because all these stupid moves that governments did, I don't feel like the property price is going to come back any. It may get a little bit softened because there's going to be more stock. There's going to be more options, I suggest. And there's going to be some builders at the moment. They're becoming desperate to sell houses. So there will be more options. So is the market property price going to come back by another, I don't know, 5%, maybe 10% by the time it's 2026? Potentially.
Yeah.
Because the stock is increasing.
Yeah.
But if the OCRs keeps coming back and interest keep coming back, so that's going to get the property thing it's going to start moving back again, which is not what I like to happen, because affordability, I like things to come back a little bit further. I would look at for house and be very careful or be very hard negotiating. And I'll buy something. It obviously sounds like a first home buyer.
Yep.
Buy something like we suggested, 4 bedrooms, so you can rent the place, the bedrooms out, without having to pay any mortgage yourself.
Yeah.
Because long time, in 10 years' time, you do okay, because you usually do well in real estate if you hold on to it for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're not buying at the peak. This is not well off the peak, right?
Yeah.
So we're saying if anybody asked me in 2021, 2022, should I buy a house? No, full stop. Do not buy now.
Yeah.
But now it's like, it's very hard to predict the bottom. It's usually 3, 4, 6 months later that you're like, okay, that was the bottom.
Yeah.
But then off the back of the bottom, when the market is recovering, it takes time for it to recover, right?
Yeah.
So I would look and be very hard negotiating.
Good point.
Yeah.
Great. Next topic. NZ eases visa path for degree holders from certain countries. So New Zealand has announced that degree holders from certain countries can now bypass the qualification assessment process for some immigration categories, which essentially means they're trying to attract people with degrees. And yeah, they obviously had a few restrictions like 12 months ago to prevent as many people coming into the country. But now they're wanting these skilled workers to come in.
Which makes total sense. Why? Because what's the output of an economy? It's productivity per capita times population divided by capita.
Okay.
So to increase the economy per capita, so when you increase the economy per capita, your economy gets better.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes total sense to bring people who can actually add value to the country, rather than just letting everybody and anybody in, right? So I talk about this, I'm pretty sure, in the past. If I was to become the Prime Minister, what I would do, I'll put a full stop on anybody coming into the country, but skilled workers, and take care of my own 5 million people.
Yes.
That's what Trump is doing, right?
Correct. Yeah.
He's deporting all the illegal aliens and taking care of his own people, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't it makes total sense, right?
It makes sense,
yeah. So to increase the economy, make the economy better, the revenue per capita must increase. And I suppose that's what they're doing, right?
Yeah, and we've probably lost a lot of talented people.
Right.
To the likes of Australia. Well, probably Australia, yeah.
Yeah. So what one of the thing would be for us as a country to make it as attractive as you possibly can for the people to stay in, and then number two, bring people who can actually add value to the country.
Yeah.
That would be the ideal business model for any country, right?
So the government's doing something right now.
Yeah, at least it's not having just giving people money, just printing money and give them. That's a disaster for a company to go bankrupt. So when you're bringing more people in, more skilled workers, it's just like in a business, right? If you got more people who actually do great work, your business gets better.
Yeah.
And if you got a whole lot of people who don't do anything, the business goes broke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
A less efficient economy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Do you want to add anything? 20 minutes is up. We normally try and keep these to 20.
It's been a good conversation. I think we've covered everything we need to cover today, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
All right. That was Real Talk. We'll see you next month in August. Unbelievable. August. Jeez.
Time flies, huh?
Yeah.
The 7th already. Gosh, 2025.
Yeah. If you want to listen to this, it'll be on YouTube, Spotify, so you can download it on there. And yeah, we'll see you in our other YouTube videos next week.